Hi guys, welcome to BYJU'S exam prep. How are you all? So today is our passage practice exercise. Now today we are not just solving the passage like the regular exercise we do. हम passage पढ़ेंगे फिर question solve करेंगे तो हम कर ही रहे हैं बहुत महीनों से. तुम लोग इतनी रिलीजियसली ध्यान भी नहीं दे रहे हो और पैसेज सॉल्व भी नहीं कर रहे हो, फिर मुझसे कह रहे हो कि मैम वो वाला पैसेज ले आइए, ये वाला पैसेज ले आइए. जो है उनको नहीं करेगा कोई, और नयों की डिमांड. वाह, खैर जो भी है, अब उस पर हम नहीं जाएंगे. आई वोंट एक्सप्रेस माई disappointment in this, but I would, I have introduced certain changes in my sessions. So the change in today's session would be not only we would solve the questions, but we would also discuss the probable questions. तो हम सिर्फ और सिर्फ पैसेज सॉल्व नहीं करेंगे, उस पैसेज से और क्या क्या क्वेश्चंस बन सकते हैं उन्हें भी हम डिस्कस करेंगे. एप्लीकेशन से क्या क्वेश्चन निकल सकते हैं, व्हाट questions can we expect from application based exercise, then critical reasoning, inference questions, yes and no questions, right? So one passage can give you so many kinds of questions, and if you have an idea कि भाई ये question भी आ सकता है, ऐसे भी आ सकता है, मुझे passage को इस तरह से पढ़ना है, उस तरह से पढ़ना है, तो फिर एक तरीका आ जाएगा. और अभी इतना टाइम है कि तुम इस चीज पे काम कर सकते हो. Now this is the time when you need to work on all these ancillary skills, how to read the passage, how to tackle this kind of questions, because conceptually I know you're very thorough, you know most of the things. I know you have been watching regularly, all of you here regularly watch my sessions. It's a good thing for you. मेरा क्या भला हो रहा है, तुम्हारा ही भला होगा, राइट? सो इसके साथ साथ हम थोड़े से, जैसे हम हिंदू एनालिसिस भी करते हैं, तो अब हम सिर्फ एनालिसिस पे नहीं छोड़ेंगे अपनी सेशन को. जो भी हम डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, वट एवर आई एम एनालाइजिंग ऑन, बेस्ड ऑन दैट एनालिसिस, व्हाट प्रोबेबल क्वेश्चंस कैन यू एक्सपेक्ट फ्रॉम दैट इंफॉर्मेशन, फ्रॉम दैट सेगमेंट, वट एवर दैट आई हैव डिस्कस्ड. व्हाट काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चंस, अगर नेग्लिजेंस पे कोई न्यूज सेगमेंट है और मैंने न्यूज सेगमेंट के साथ साथ नेग्लिजेंस डिस्कस किया, तो उस न्यूज सेगमेंट और नेग्लिजेंस को मिला के क्या क्वेश्चन बन सकता है, सब, एवरीथिंग. So basically it's revamping the sessions for your practice, right? So I would want more participation. I want everybody to attend. चाहे भूखे पेट हो, चाहे प्यासे हो, सेशन अटेंड करने आना है. क्योंकि निवेदिता मैम गोल्ड बांट रही हैं, गोल्ड, मोती छिड़क रही हूं मैं. और अब टाइम है कि तुम दोनों हाथों को खोल के मोती इकट्ठे कर लो, क्योंकि आज नहीं तो फिर कभी भी नहीं. ओके, लेट्स स्टार्ट. लेट्स गो. यस, this is the passage. Let us start. First you read and then I shall read. यहाँ पे एसएससी एंड रेलवे क्यों लिखा रहा है नीचे? ओके, लेट मी नॉट डाइवर्ट यू. Very easy, right? Section 375 of IPC deals with the crime of rape. There are many circumstances. The passage has only discussed two. So the major premise is that when a person gets involved with a woman sexually without obtaining her consent, or by giving her a threat of violence, right? So violently when he gets involved sexually, or when he imposes herself on her, so this would be rape. This is the punishment. Done. Good. Two exceptions. There are two exceptions also. What are those two exceptions? We'll underline them immediately. First refers to medical procedures, which it excludes from the definition of rape. The second states sexual intercourse by a man with his own wife, the wife not being under 15 years of age, is not rape. This second exception is very controversial because it does not recognize marital rape, right? So are we done? I've highlighted the important part. Okay, moving on. Mind you, okay, let's pause. Time please. थोड़ा सा रुकते हैं. Time. ऐसे करते हैं ना time, right? So the passage, the consortium is not testing you on knowledge, right? ये हम सबको पता है. The passage based pattern is evidence, is evidentiary of the fact that the consortium is not really testing you how knowledgeable you are. It is testing you upon your focus and your attention. So if at all a passage comes with figures like percentages, numbers, mind you that as easy as it is to ignore them, there might be questions relating to them. क्योंकि consortium देखना भले ही चाहेगा कि तुमने passage को कितना ध्यान से पढ़ा है. नीचे question आता है percentage based का, कितने percent women ये कह रही हैं, कितनी percent women ये कह रही हैं. You'd immediately be confused. तुम्हें लगेगा oh my god, this is a GK question, I don't know, and you can only say that because you haven't read the passage properly. While the students who have read the passage properly would immediately look at the percentage which is given in the passage. Now this is the test of focus, and this focusing, the entire game of CLAT consortium, the entire change of pattern was based on an idea that the students who wish to pursue law as their career need to be focused, and this is what would really challenge your focus. So very, very carefully, I immediately underlined it because this passage contains it. There might be questions relating to it. You need to be ready for everything that might be possible. Okay, every probable thing. Now since everyone has read it, मैंने नहीं पढ़ा, मैं पढ़ लेती हूँ. Okay, पढ़ लिया. First law is 498A, cruelty. The second is DV Act, Domestic Violence Act. Are we done? Great. Recommendation, very important. Recommended. What were the changes? Has this recommendation been implemented? Everyone done? We are done, right? Everyone? Good. Good. इसके बारे में तो सबको पता ही है, ये तो मैंने पढ़ाया भी था लास्ट ईयर. Right, split judgment आ गया. I can never understand why a bench consists of two judges. There would always be a chance of split verdict. Why do you want to end up in a tie, knowing that it is a pretty good possibility, especially when a matter is so important as that of marital rape. The law couldn't change for one person. Actually, the debates surrounding the misuse of this law are more than the favorable aspects. The cons are more than the pros. That is the problem. Although the Termination of Pregnancy Act, the amendment, the latest amendment, now the Termination of Pregnancy Act, if you have read it, if you have attended my sessions, you know that MTR, the Medical Termination of MTP Act, the Medical Termination of Pregnancy was recently amended, and there were certain guidelines that were given by Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, CGI, right? And he said that, even if a woman is married and she has conceived because of that, that forceful sexual activity, she has a right to get that child terminated. Why should she keep a child which is a product of rape, even if the rape happened during the confines of marriage? So through that interpretation, through that, declaration, CGI paved a way for marital rape, which might be a possibility in the coming laws. You never know. So these are the informations that are correlated. You never know what information they might merge and give you a passage, right? हो गया, पढ़ लिया हमने. I haven't underlined really what, Justice C. Harishankar and the other justice said, but it would be a good idea to underline it. Are we done? Good. Moving on. Thai kitna hai? Okay, so you have a 3-day trial period available. So you just need to download the app, enter your number, you'll get the opportunity, etc. Moving on. Question number 1. Ananya, a 27-year-old woman, married for 2 years, has been enduring severe sexual violence by her husband, decides to initiate a legal challenge to the marital rape exception, seeking justice for herself and countless others like her. Can a legal challenge be made against the marital rape to protest the rights of Ananya? Wow. This question has weight and substance and all those adjectives. Options पे आ जाएं? Everyone, I need a unanimous yes. Okay, let's go over to the options. Yes, legal challenges can be initiated to protect the rights of a married woman. No, due to the marital rape exceptions being firmly established in the law. Yes, but only the legal challenge can convincingly demonstrate that it violates the right of married women. No, the marital rape exception is consistent with the traditional concept of marriage. Now, what is that passage telling you? She definitely cannot do it because the marital rape exception has been very firmly established in law, right? I mean, there has been changes, of course, there have been changes. Minor can claim the exception as per the Supreme Court after 2017, but the other women cannot really claim it as a right. So I think B should be the answer. No, due to the marital rape exception being firmly established in the law. बाकी देख लेते हैं. B सही आंसर है. Exactly. I mean, yes, cruelty is something that can be claimed. 498A has been mentioned in a hint, but not really detailed. Option से भी नहीं निकल रहा है. Question number 2. Nisha, a 25-year-old girl, wanted to marry A, but she was made to marry A's twin brother due to better educational qualifications. Assuming B to be A, Nisha engages in sexual relation with B after marriage. What happened? ये बनाने वाला ही कंफ्यूज हो गया क्या? She wanted to marry A, but she was made to marry A's twin brother B. Assuming B to be A. Oh, huh? तो B तो husband ही है उसका. When she realizes, she approached court against B, decide whether, oh yes, of course, I'm so sorry, husband है. Decide whether Nisha will succeed in a marital rape case against B. मैं ही confuse हो गई. मैं क्यों confuse हो गई? If H was given as a minor, the answer might have been something. Exactly, Garima. Exactly. नहीं क्वेश्चन मैं कंफ्यूज हो रही थी A और B के बीच में. So she's, since B is the husband right now, that is where the marital raw thing will come. These questions are really confusing, aren't they? Options. Yes, legal challenge can be initiated. How old is she? Let me see once again. 25. Okay. Legal challenges can be initiated. No due to marital exception being firmly established in the law. Yes, but only if the legal challenge can convincingly demonstrate. Same thing. Only the facts are changed. What do you think the correct answer would be? It's very, very simple. The correct answer remains no. She cannot. Right? He is her husband. So there is no such thing as rape as per law. No. B again is the correct option. Exactly. Ritu and Raj, both aged 14 years, wanted to marry each other. Families objected, of course. No, not because of age, because of caste difference. Wow. However, when they could not find anyone supporting their marriage, they decided to marry without their family's consent. When they approached a priest in the temple to perform marriage ceremony, he refused, stating that Ritu belongs to a lower caste and he cannot pollute himself by making a lower caste girl marry an upper caste boy. What is happening? I am offended by this question. When Raj saw Ritu being subjected to such poor treatment by the society, he married her by tying a thread on her wrist as per custom prevalent in his community. After some time, Ritu was subjected to unconsensual sexual intercourse by Raj. Way to go, Raj. Hence, Ritu files a case against Raj for rape. In which of the following situations will Raj be saved? Will Raj be saved from facing legal consequences even if he did commit the offense? Difference between B and D. Because this is not given in the passage. That is the difference. How many times? Haven't you solved passage enough times to understand that we need to go to an option which is exactly as per the passage? तुम बहुत पैसेज सॉल्व कर चुके हो कि तुम्हें अभी तक नहीं समझ आया है कि भाई वो क्वेश्चन आप उस ऑप्शन को सेलेक्ट करोगे जो ऑप्शन पैसेज में दिया हुआ है. ये पैसेज में नहीं दिया हुआ है, ये सही है. यू कैन नॉट रिफ्यूट दिस ऑप्शन, बट दिस इज नॉट समथिंग दैट इज गिवन इन द पैसेज. Right, so that is why B. Raj is also 14 years, by the way. If the court declares the marriage invalid, if the family accepts their marriage, if it is proved that the offense is committed after 2 years, marital rape in this situation is not covered under law. बताइए. It's an interesting premise. किस सिचुएशन में राज अपने आप को बचा सकता है? दोनों ही 14 साल के हैं. बोथ आर 14 बाय द वे. फिल्मी क्वेश्चन भी आ सकते हैं. If it is proved that offense is committed 2 years after, how do you claim that? How do you gather this? Is it given in the passage? Passage में दिया हुआ है. See. Are you sure? D. In this situation, in these kinds of situations, D seems something okay. It's definitely not C. You are assuming this. The only situation where Raj can be held not liable for marital rape is when the marriage is declared illegal or invalid. तभी marital rape नहीं होगा. वो marital rape के अंदर charges लगा रही है. अगर शादी ही invalid हो जाए because both of them are minor, then Why A? Why A? Because A is the correct answer. How else do you say B? B for Raj against marital rape. बहुत ही easy है. Both are 14 years. Raj married by tying a thread. If it is proved that, ये क्या exception दे रखा है? Explanation कुछ, option कुछ और. चलो एक बार पैसेज को पढ़ते हैं फिर से. I might have missed something. Those convicted under the law are punished with this and this. Okay, not here. Definition of rape, sexual intercourse, exception, protects, while the law originally shielded a man 14, 15, 18. Registered, currently facing the first section, subjected cruelty. DV, relief, 2018, etc. Massive protest stems from a long, outdated notion. Wives had no more than property. Argued, specify complainant, etc. Do you see anywhere the 2 years thing being discussed in the passage? Anywhere? How will it save? It will save him from marital rape. It won't save him from rape. पर वो क्योंकि 14 साल का है तो वो जूवी में जाएगा, जुवेनाइल. राइट, जूवी में चला जाएगा वो. अब हम मैरिटल रेप के पैसेज को डिस्कस कर रहे हैं तो ऑब्वियसली इतना तो अजूम कर ही सकते हैं. राइट, इन विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग सिचुएशन लीगल कंसिक्वेंसेज अगेंस्ट राज फॉर रेप. तो ऑब्वियसली इट इज मैरिटल रेप ओनली. मैरिज के बीच में हुआ रेप ही तो मैरिटल रेप कहलाता है भाई. तो इतना तो अजूम करना ही पड़ेगा आपको. मैरिज दोनों के हिसाब से शादी हो चुकी है ना उन दोनों की. They'll go to juvenile. The question is कि भाई उसे बचा क्या सकता है मैरिटल रेप के चार्ज से? यही बचा सकता है कि शादी वैलिड नहीं है, तो वो मैरिटल रेप में नहीं चार्ज किया जाएगा. बिकॉज द गर्ल इज एक्चुअली लेस देन 15. ही कैन बी वेरी वैलिडली चार्ज फॉर मैरिटल रेप. राइट, उसकी खुद की एज कितनी हो लेकिन लड़की 15 साल से कम है तो मैरिटल रेप का चार्ज लग सकता है. और ये 10-20 सालों की सजा भी हो सकती है. और ऑर्डिनरी रेप में उसे 3 साल से ज्यादा की सजा नहीं होगी क्योंकि वो खुद भी जुवेनाइल है. राइट, इसलिए बच सकता है. ए सही आंसर है. ये तो पता नहीं किस बात पे एक्सप्लेनेशन दे रहे कि दिस इज नॉट इवन गिवन इन द पैसेज. The people who resorted to C as the option, why did you? I had to read the passage once again to see if I missed something. ये कहीं भी था पैसेज में जो तुम इस कंक्लूजन पे पहुंच गए? मैंने फिर से पढ़ा है पैसेज, मुझे फिर से नहीं नजर आया. तुम्हें नजर आया था क्या? Did you guys watch it or read it? Do not jump to conclusions which are not given in the passage. Like at all, anywhere. You do not assume anything which is outside the passage unless the question demands it, unless the question is actually a knowledge-based question. Right? Let's say the passage defines rape completely, but the passage does not mention which section rape is given in. And then the question asks you which section provides for rape in the Indian Penal Code. This is a knowledge-based question. You can use your knowledge here, but not otherwise. Never do it. Never ever. It is fatal. You'll end up losing 1.25 marks. समझे? तो मत करना है ऐसा. पैसेज में जो नहीं है उसे तुम अजूम नहीं कर सकते. तुम लोगों पे मुझे इतना भरोसा है कि मुझे ही पैसेज पढ़वा दिया. एनी हाउ, ओके. चलो, ये तो पता नहीं क्यों दे रखा है. मेरे ख्याल से खुद ही कंफ्यूज हो गया क्रिएटर थोड़ा सा. अब आ गए ऋतु और आज बड़े हो गए बाय द वे. नाउ दे आर 24. Ritu and Raj, both aged 24 years, wanted to marry, objected, could not find supporting anyone, priest, cannot pollute, upper caste boy, etc. Same kahani, age different. Okay, subjected, unconsensual intercourse, hence Ritu files a case for rape. Which of the following will Raj be punished for rape? In which of the following situations will Raj be punished for rape? सेम आंसर. अब बताइए, this is pure logic, guys. I am really intrigued to see how many of you can answer this question. This is really interesting. In which of the following situations can Raj be punished? Be punished for rape. Yes. People. Obviously, the answer remains the same. एज बढ़ा दी गई है. कौन सी सिचुएशन? मैरिटल रेप में आप राज को कन्विक्ट नहीं कर सकते बिकॉज शादी हो चुकी है. लेकिन रेप के लिए अगर आप उसे कन्विक्ट करना चाहें तो कैसे कर सकते हैं? शादी को इलीगल डिक्लेयर कर दीजिए, इनवैलिड डिक्लेयर कर दीजिए. रेप तो किया ही है उसने, रेप हो गया. शादी इनवैलिड है, so whatever happens between them, if it is non-consensual, it is automatically rape. Within marriage, even if it is non-consensual, law is not ready to penalize it. A is the correct option. Absolutely. If the marriage is valid, very good, Yash. Absolutely. Passage is fun. All the passages are fun. You need to be really invested in it. Plus, my energy also matters. कभी-कभी मैं ही बीमार हो जाती हूँ. Right, so Yash की reasoning बिल्कुल सही है, because if the marriage is declared to be valid, we cannot punish Raj. But somehow if the marriage is invalid, Raj can be punished for rape. Because it won't be marital rape then. It would just be rape. Right? A is correct. Very good. Question number 5. A and B were about to get married next year. अच्छा इसी बात पे whoever finds this passage fun, please guys like the video. I've been observing that you guys do not like the video. Why? कुछ पैसे खर्च हो रहे हैं तुम लोगों के? Are you spending on liking? Can you not just click on a thumbs up? How difficult is it? Come on. Lazy. A and B were about to get married next year on A's 25th birthday. B, her husband, to be husband. Okay, to be husband. शादी नहीं हुई. Very important. Mind you, committed rape on her. After 2 weeks, they got married as was scheduled. When B did the same, even after marriage, A approached the court for marital rape. Decide whether B is liable this time. Oh, man. I mean, ideally B is liable, but he is not liable as per law because अब तो वो B भी बन चुके हैं, right? So, वाइफ का तो रेप हो ही नहीं सकता ना. पहले कंप्लेन कर देती वो तो सजा मिल जाती. But she waited until after marriage. तो अब तो नहीं, कंप्लेन का स्कोप खत्म है. A is absolutely correct. Very good. Question number 6. A and B, both aged 14 years, decided to marry each other. Okay. It was a small village. Child marriage was considered normal. 14 years. दोनों 14 साल के हैं, दोनों minors हैं. A intentionally engaged with sexual intercourse with her husband B and gave birth to a boy after 2 years. When she saw that her husband is not abiding by her constant demands of a separate house, she filed a case of marital rape against him. Decide whether she will succeed. वाह, एकता कपूर का सीरियल है ये. The creator is so imaginative, no? Sometimes I actually wonder. Okay. पहले वाले के लिए नहीं होगा. पहले वाले के लिए नहीं होगा क्योंकि बच्चे छोटे हैं ना. यहाँ पे 24 साल की उम्र है, वहां 14 साल की उम्र थी. Okay. Yes, since B engaged in sexual intercourse with A when she was a minor. Yes, sexual intercourse with wife against her consent. No, since B engaged in sexual intercourse with A. No, since A is now a major. With her consent. Okay. क्या होगा इसका आंसर? What would be the answer? It's very obvious. The answer is obvious. The question is, will she succeed? And the answer is, no, she won't. Of course. Because there were two things actually. One is definitely not mentioned here. But the two things are that first, the sexual activity was consensual. The question itself is telling us that. And the sexual activity, obviously, since she is less than 14, the 15-year वो वाला तो it does not really matter. But it cannot be rape because there was consent. Rape हो जाता अगर consent नहीं होता, क्योंकि 15 साल से कम है. लेकिन जब consent है ही, तो rape कैसे हो सकता है? B engaged in sexual intercourse with A when she was a minor. Yeah, but then rape is defined, no? An act without consent or an act done with a threat of violence. The passage gives it. तो it is a consensual activity और वो खुद भी minor ही है, ऐसा नहीं कि वो major है. तो ये statutory rape हो गया. Statutory rape भी नहीं है. Both are 14. Both got involved with their respective consents. It cannot be rape. Child consent valid नहीं, लेकिन करने वाला भी तो child ही है. मतलब दूसरा व्यक्ति भी तो child ही है. The other person is also a child, no? This is a little dicey. I'm confused at this. Engaged in sexual intercourse with A when she was a minor, but even B is a minor here. I don't agree with this premise at all. Consent of a child is definitely immaterial, but then the other person is also a child. This is actually... ये actually debate है, नहीं? This is actually debate. I need more clarity in this. Two people getting involved, both minors. Will it still be rape? I mean, a minor cannot give consent, but the question is, can a minor not take consent? You're getting my point? So if two minors get involved, obviously it becomes statutory rape. If one person is an adult, the other person is a minor, then of course it is not consent. But both if are of same age. हाँ, child के consent के बारे में भी दिया कुछ नहीं है passage में. Exactly. Garima is to the point. The passage does not mention anything about child's consent. The passage is actually only giving you the definition of rape. And the definition of rape is done without consent or with a threat of violence. Now, since this act is done with consent, I do not think it can be rape. Right? So, she does not have a ground. It was a consensual activity committed between two children. You cannot punish the other child. Both of them were the same age. Minor's consent is but how, where it is given in the passage. ये dicey है. This question is dubious. I'm putting a pin on it. ये question ही dubious है. ये faulty premise पे बना हुआ है. एक doubtful premise. There are so many things. Too many things. I know present law minor's consent is not valid. You're not looking at the other perspectives that I already discussed. मुझे भी पता है कि minor का consent matter नहीं करता, but minor का consent लेने वाला भी minor ही था. First of all, the passage does not discuss anything about minor's consent. Second, the passage is only talking about an activity which is done without consent. Third, the activity is done with the consent. Both the people getting involved in the activity are in fact minors. Now, who is to obtain whose consent is a question of doubt. Right? That is why the question is dubious, like I said. Marital rape is an exception, but it still does not clarify the situation. Marital rape, we are talking about rape. That's Nandana. You did not read the passage carefully or what? Rape is defined as an activity which is done without consent. Arey yaar. Come on. I don't like doing it, but okay. Since you're so hell-bent. Please read. Sexual intercourse is categorized as rape such as when a man does not gain a woman's consent or gains it through threat or violence. Does not gain a woman's consent, then it is rape. Otherwise, it is not rape. Even in a situation of marital rape, the situation whether a consent is not obtained or obtained is being taken into consideration. Okay. इसलिए that is the reason why marital rape is not recognized, because you do not know what is happening between husband and wife. They are anyway involved in a sexual relation. Once or twice, if the husband did not gain consent, the wife might be lying. She might be vengeful. 𝗟𝗏𝗀𝗏 serial happening all over again. How do you trust her? Right? So, there are questions relating to this law. That is the reason why I know that the question is doubtful. It goes against the premise. She filed for marital rape, so she filed for marital rape, so marital rape is not punishable anyway, no? Even if she filed for marital rape, rape हुआ ही कहाँ है? Intentionally engage हुई है वो. Presence of consent. Dubious question. It is a very doubtful question. There are just too many loopholes in this question. There's a presence of consent, right? Wife is minor, but the husband is also a minor, right? There are just too many doubts. Let's just move over. इस तरह के confusing questions को अगर exam में भी आते हैं, please just don't attempt them. These are risky questions. These are extremely risky questions. Creator यहाँ दे सकता है, consortium में भी कोई create करके दे सकता है. इस तरह का एक vague premise बना के इस तरह के questions को बिल्कुल attempt नहीं करना, immediately छोड़ दो. इनका कोई सही answer हो ही नहीं सकता. Right, the passage scheme of consortium is actually based on the foundation that the questions would be from the passage. The answers have to be from the passage. Even if there are two options and one of which is completely from the passage, the other is more convincing than the passage, you cannot refute it, but you cannot choose it because that is not given in the passage. You would only choose the option given in the passage. पूरा का पूरा जो एजेंडा है वो यही कि पैसेज से क्वेश्चन निकालने हैं, पैसेज से आंसर निकालने हैं, तो हम पैसेज के बाहर नहीं जा सकते, नॉलेज को यूज नहीं कर सकते. इस तरह के क्वेश्चंस अगर आ भी जाते हैं, माय सजेशन इज जस्ट टू लीव देम, डू नॉट अटेम्प्ट देम एट ऑल. Okay, question number 7. British jurist Matthew Hale, who in 1736, please, wrote the oft-quoted defense against the criminalization of marital rape. I think it is off. At the time, there was no specific law that granted husbands immunity from charges of raping their wives. Rather, judges developed a common law case by case. Common law refers to a law that is not enacted by legislature but emerges out of judgments of the courts, obviously. Examining the question, Hale wrote, the husband cannot be guilty of rape committed by himself upon his lawful wife, for by their mutual matrimonial consent and contract, the wife has given up herself in this kind unto her husband, which she cannot retract. This is an awful premise. In light of this statement, choose the right option. Did you understand? Did you understand completely? I cannot explain it. I don't want to. अच्छे से पढ़ लो, समझ लो, and let me know if you don't understand. I shall explain it. I don't mind. These are facts. It's okay. It was back in 1700s. The concept, the society was different, absolutely different. That society does not exist anymore. So don't worry. Okay. That time, women could not even dream of prosecuting their husbands. Done? Understood? Shall we move on? Good. Everybody liked the video? You did like the video, right? I need a unanimous yes. Say yes. We are evolving, of course, Swapnil. We are evolving slowly. We are. Good. Good. Justice Rajesh, okay. Support. Choose the right option. Justice Rajiv Shakdhar will support Matthew Hale. Justice C. Harishankar will not support Matthew Hale. Matthew Hale was confused about the future of women. Indian legal system on marital rape is similar to Matthew Hale's views. Which of the following is correct? C. Harishankar will support Matthew Hale. He was the one who said there is an intelligible differentia. Right. And Justice Rajiv Shakdhar said that you cannot demarcate. Just because there is a relationship between two people doesn't mean rape cannot happen. Justice C. Harishankar was absolutely on an opposite viewpoint. D. Very clearly. Exactly. D is the correct option. Absolutely. Chalo. Question number 8. It would be tragic if a married woman's call for justice is not heard even after 162 years since the enactment of IPC. To my mind, self-assured and good men have nothing to fear if this change is sustained. He's not right. If you haven't done anything wrong, you should not be scared. Even when women file for frivolous complaints against 498A domestic violence dowry prohibition, those complaints are later on unraveled. Innocent men never get punished because it is a false case. There would be no evidences to substantiate the claim. And any which way, court does not believe women blindly anymore. अब औरत का वाक्य ब्रह्म वाक्य नहीं है. पहले हुआ करता था, अब नहीं है. तो Justice Rajiv Shakdhar was quite on point saying कि if you are a good person, if you haven't done anything, you shouldn't be scared. Even if a woman, is vengeful against you, files a false claim, you won't get prosecuted, you won't get convicted. The author supports the change in current marital law. Very good. Yes. D is absolutely correct. Frivolous complaints leads to years of pain. Now we go over to probable questions. लेकिन हम कुछ probabilities के रहते हुए जो वाकई victims हैं उनको भी तो इग्नोर नहीं कर सकते. बस ये सोच के कि इसका मिसयूज भी हो सकता है, हम उसके अच्छे यूज को डिनाई नहीं कर सकते. इंटरनेट, पेटीएम, गूगल पे के आने से लाइफ कन्वीनियंट हो गई, लेकिन कितना ज्यादा नुकसान हुआ, कितने लोगों ने अपनी पूरी जमा पूंजी फ्रॉड के उसमें बहा दी, खो दी, इसको भी इग्नोर नहीं किया जा सकता ना. फिर भी पेटीएम चल रहा है, गूगल पे चल रहा है, बैन नहीं लगाया सरकार ने. You know what I'm saying, right? Everything comes with a list of pros and cons. If it has cons, it doesn't mean it doesn't have pros. And we cannot ignore the pros completely just because there are some negative, aspects also. Everything comes with a negative side. There's never one side. There are always two sides. Now we are discussing the probable questions that I have created that may come on issues like this, on passages like this, where percentage is given, where a premise is given, a concept is given, right? So these questions do not come with answers or solutions. These questions are kind of your homework. You note them, you see the PPT, and then you solve them on your own later on. Okay, these are just probable questions. Moving on, if a woman aged 22 claims her husband raped her, how would the current Indian Penal Code view this claim based on the marital rape exception? Very easy question, completely concept-based, tests you on how focused you were while reading the passage, plus how well do you understand the marital rape exception discussed in the passage. If you do, you can immediately answer this question without wasting a second. ठीक है, 22 साल की औरत है, हस्बैंड पे मैरिटल रेप का चार्ज लगा रही है. करंट आईपीसी को ध्यान में रख के क्या उसे प्रोसिक्यूट किया जा सकता है? नहीं किया जा सकता. Right? The claim is invalid because she is above 18. Very good, Garima. Exactly. She did not take any time at all. Very good. Yes. Woman facing sexual violence from her husband wants to pursue a civil case instead of criminal one. Which act would she seek protection under? Very, very easy. Which act? Domestic Violence Act. Exactly, Namra. Domestic Violence Act is given to seek protection against cruelty which the women are subjected to under civil law. 498A is the criminal law. It is given under IPC. Domestic Violence Act, Dowry Prohibition Acts are not criminal acts. They are civil acts. ठीक है? तो B सही आंसर है इसका. DV Act 2005. It is given in the passage also. Okay, 375 IPC, 498 IPC is all criminal weapons to punish a criminal. Based on the passage, if a medical procedure involved sexual intercourse, would it be classified as rape under section 375? No. Again, given in the passage. ये सारे के सारे questions test कर रहे हैं कि तुम passage के दौरान, पढ़ने के दौरान कितने focus थे. Sometimes what happens when you read a passage or when you come across a passage which is familiar, right? Which it contains a concept that you have already read. पढ़ चुके हो तुम, बहुत अच्छे से पढ़ चुके हो. You become overconfident. You tend to miss the subtleties in that passage. And that, that ignorance, that overconfidence results into something fatal. You have a very good idea of the passage. You can very easily solve the passage, and despite that, you make mistakes. फिर तुम्हारे सवाल होते हैं, मैम सब कुछ आता है फिर भी पैसेज गलत हो जाता है. ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस की वजह से, लेस फोकस की वजह से. क्वेश्चन आया नहीं, तुमने सॉल्व करना शुरू कर दिया क्योंकि क्वेश्चन इजी लग रहा है, पैसेज पहले से आता है. यू आर नॉट रियली लिसनिंग टू मी, बट यू आर बिजी सॉल्विंग द क्वेश्चन. दैट इज व्हाट आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट. Your focus needs to be completely on the thing that is happening. Right now, I am speaking. I am telling you something important. Your focus needs to shift. When I am not speaking anything, I am only making you solve the question. You only solve the question. Do not distract yourself. So, divert. Keeping your focus to something which is right, something which demands your focus at that point of time is an art. And that is the art which consortium is testing you upon. So just because you're familiar with the premise, just because you understand the concept well, do not get overconfident. Do not start solving questions within a minute. Read a question properly, even if you're really sure about it. Right? So medical procedure के हिसाब से rape क्लासिफाई हुआ. हो सकता है तुमने पैसेज इतनी जल्दी पढ़ा, इतना पेरिफेरल पढ़ा कि तुमने मेडिकल प्रोसीजर वाला क्लॉज ही मिस कर दिया और फिर तुम इसे आंसर नहीं कर पाओगे. ठीक है? Okay, that's what I'm saying. The answer is no. They are explicitly exempted. Yes. Why do you think Indian Penal Code initially had an exception that allowed sexual intercourse with a wife under 15 without it being considered a rape? क्यों था initially ये exception? Again, it is given in the passage. You can understand it. भाई क्या था? Married couples को legal interference से protect करने के लिए, due to societal norms prevalent at that time. We are talking about 1800s when the IPC came into force. Why did they even include it as an exception? क्या जरूरत क्या थी? Because marriages involving minors were common as an oversight in the legal system. What do you think is the correct option? This is a tricky question. Utmost focus is required. Read the passage and then come back. Okay? You can post your answers in the comments. C might not be the correct answer, mind you. C is the correct answer. Good. Okay. C सही है. Justice 𝗟𝗂𝗏𝗀 believed that marital rape exception was based on intelligible differentia. What does this imply about his view on marital relations compared to other relationships? Again, like I said, it is not necessary that a viewpoint of a judge might be asked, but it is not completely improbable also. If a judgment is given and the justice's views are given, well then, they might be asked. So the best way is to underline them. Answer it on your own. Question number 6. After reading about the 2012 Delhi rape case and its aftermath, how can public sentiment and legal recommendation influence changes in law? Since Delhi rape case has already been discussed and what happened after, Justice Verma committee was set up to discuss the probable changes that are required. Everything. Just read the passage and come to an answer. Do not jump because you think it is right. It should be right because the passage says it is right. Okay, that is the approach. Question number 7 from the data. Oh my God, how right was I? From the data between April 22 and March 23, can you infer the percentage of women who did not report any form of sexual violence from their husband? माइनस करना है तो मैं आउट ऑफ 100% गिवन है उन women की जिन्होंने मैरिटल रेप रिकॉर्ड किया है, तो कितनी बची जिन्होंने मैरिटल रिकॉर्ड नहीं किया? ऑब्वियसली आंसर आपके सामने है. थोड़ा सा मैथमेटिक्स लगेगा, लीगल में भी मैथ्स का क्वांट का क्वेश्चन. माय गॉड, यू नेवर नो, यू नेवर नो. ठीक है, अब यही देखो, everybody is answering, nobody is really focusing on what the question is actually asking. From the data between April 20 to March 23, can you infer the percentage of women who did not report any form of sexual violence from their husband? It's very easy to ask you what is given in the passage. Not report. I wanted. मैंने माइनस करने को कहा ना, क्वांट का क्वेश्चन क्यों कहा मैंने? ये क्वांट का क्वेश्चन थोड़ी, अगर तुम्हें परसेंटेज जो पैसेज में दे रखी है वही पूछ ली. यही तो है फोकस बच्चों, इस पे ही तो कह रही हूं मैं. पैसेज पढ़ लेते हैं चलो. That's what I was emphasizing upon over and over again. Do you think the questions are going to be that easy? सीधा परसेंटेज ही पूछ लिया given in the passage? Of course not. The passage is long. कहाँ किया था मैंने अंडरलाइन? यहाँ था ना. 29.3 women between the age experienced sexual violence. मतलब इन women ने admit किया है that they are subject to sexual violence. तो बाकी बची हुई ने admit नहीं किया, report नहीं किया. Husband and wife के बीच में whatever happens is a very private matter. So if a wife is saying that she got raped, it is only because she is saying it. The fact that married women are reporting rapes is because they are admitting to the fact that they were subjected to rape. Now, get it? So this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm emphasizing upon. ये है ध्यान देने की बात. 100 में से माइनस करो, जो बची हुई परसेंटेज है वो है उस क्वेश्चन का आंसर. अब इसमें घंटों लग जाएंगे. How many hours? This is the reason why I ask you to listen to me carefully. So you clearly are not listening to me carefully. You are making the mistakes I'm continuously telling you about. Okay, so this is the last question, guys. These are 2 questions that you can do on your own. That's it. 21st October को हमारी workshop है. Do attend it. The strategies are to ace CLAT 2025. I shall see you then. तब तक सब अपना ख्याल रखेंगे. हम फिर मिलेंगे everyone. Take care. Thank you so much. Bye bye.